Hello everyone and welcome into Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and today I have another installment of our Diamond Painting 101 series. And that is talking about your toolkit and what you may want to opt to upgrade, things that I would strongly recommend you upgrade for, and then things that you may not really benefit from if you upgrade. But of course, this is all my opinion. The final decision is up to you. So let's talk about toolkits. So a lot of companies include toolkits in their paintings, some don't, and some actually will ask you, do you want to have a toolkit? Because it's really nice, especially if you're a starter, it's nice to get the basics of what you need to use. Some people, this works out just fine for them, and if that's the case, more power to you. Some people will choose to upgrade a little bit, and we will go over that here today. So I have two standard toolkits here. The first one, this is one that you would find in pretty much any, the basics you'd find from any diamond painting company that you order from. Maybe not all of these tips all the time, but you're going to get your pen. You're going to get a cushion for your pen to hold your grip. Then you're typically going to get a single placer and a multi-placer. This appears to be, that's a 4. This looks like a 4 as well. I have the brass tip one here, but I also, this is, bent ends, so that if you wanted to have more of an ergonomic experience, you could use it that way. And then it looks like I even have some straighteners that I can, why do I have 2 of everything? That's very weird. I can slip this on the end and then push this in between my drills as I go along to help straighten them. Okay. Then you have a basic pair of tweezers. Be warned, these are called murder tweezers for a reason. They are very, very sharp. I've heard stories of people dropping this on their laps and them sticking in their legs, so be careful with those. You have your basic boat for you to pour your drills in, shake, and then put onto your canvas, and then with a spout that's going to allow you to pour it back into whatever container they came from. You're going to have typically, sometimes, a piece of a roll of washi tape, or at least a mini roll of washi tape that you can use to section off your painting or run around the edges of your painting, and then some type of wax. And here we have the blue wax. There's also the pink wax, all the different color waxes. But that's typically what you're going to get in a standard diamond painting kit. Now, recently, Diamond Art Club has really upped the game of the toolkit, and it's actually, there's some stuff in here that I know people continue to use over and over again, or they like to collect out of these toolkits. So let's take a look at what they've done. So first of all, they're going to include some baggies. This is for if you want to store your extra leftover drills, or if you want to put your drills from the heat sealed bags into these and work right out of these. That's possible, but they give you some plastic bags. They actually have this new tray, and these new trays are actually pretty nice. We have a lid that comes off, and we have a stopper. Okay, so you can be shaken to your heart's content and nothing's going to come out. And then if you need to go to bed or leave your painting for a little bit, you can go ahead and put this lid on. It snaps into place. And now if the cat comes and knocks this off your table, you're not going to have drills all over the place. They are stackable, so a lot of people like to collect these and then use them sort of like as in like a sort of a tray tower type arrangement, where they stack them on top of each other and they just may start kitting up right into the trays themselves. In here we had 2 things. We have a clear wax, and then we have the pink wax. And some of the kits will have, instead of clear wax, they will have a white putty. All right. And then here's a 7 placer, and here's our pen that has a 4 placer on it already, and here is our single placer down here. Now, this is called a twist and pick pen. So what you do is you're just going to twist it slowly, and what's going to happen is just this, I'm going to start to see the smallest amount of wax come out of my tip. What I like to do is I pull it back so it's not under constant pressure, and now you're ready to go. Your wax is coming right through the pen. Now, I know a lot of people, these are much easier to hold and everything like these. Some people love this. They work with these all the time, and that's fantastic. It is refillable. You just take this off here, and then you get more wax or putty put down in here, and then you add this stopper back, and then you can continue to use the pen. That's what this white stuff is for, this white clear wax, but it's also for your multi-placers. Everyone's like, oh, it's refillable. Yeah, it is, but you also are going to get one of these with every kit. So if this is something that you just use up and then you throw it out and you get a new one, whatever the case may be, you may not have to refill it. But this you would use for your multi-placers, or you could use the pink wax. Okay, these are definitely a nice upgrade. I've tried using them. The putty that they used to have was a little too sticky for me. I haven't tried the white or the clear wax, to be honest, but they work very well. They're sort of a take on an original twist and pick pen that sort of, this is from Ivy's Dazzlers, that there's wax or putty in here, and then you're twisting it to get the wax or the putty come out. And this is all metal, so it's much more durable and substantial than the deck pens. But this is sort of the original twist and pick that was out there for the diamond painting community. Now, of all of this stuff, what could you want to upgrade? And my answer is everything. You can upgrade everything. What is helpful versus what is just sort of a gimmick, that's another story. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's first start with one of the biggest personal things in diamond painting is whether you like wax or putty. Okay, so these are all, I think this is technically wax, this is wax, this is wax. This works, 100% works. It doesn't sometimes work as long as you want it for, and sometimes this could be very difficult to use on AB drills because it sticks to the AB coating too much. So for that, you may choose to use a different type of adhesive for your pen. And I have several examples here for you. First of all, this is one that I've recently tried out on one of my videos. These are actually silicone earplugs for your ears, but they work really well. You just take your pen and you push it in and push your multiplacer in and get some of this in the pen, and then you're going to be able to pick up those drills just fine. This actually works really well, which was surprising to me. Then you have other waxes. So this one is called Patty Wax, and this is an older one, but what this company does, they make these little bars of wax. And I think this is, they tout themselves as the original alternative, because I think they were one of the first people on the scene. But you can see that it's decorative a little bit. You can see where I've used it. And the way you use these is just gouge your pen into it and get some of the wax into the multi-placer or the single placer and smush it in with your finger. But these smell delicious. Now, I've tried using wax. Wax is not my thing. But I kept this one because this werewolf scent is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. So you have that type of wax. Then you have, this is from Randa's Crafty Corner. This is Watermelon Lemonade Hardened Sticky Scented Wax. Does smell good, but this again is just wax, probably beeswax by the look of it, and you just gotta gouge your pen into it to pick this up and use that. Then you have putties, and the traditional putties that you're gonna have are things that look like come in bags like this. Let me use this one because it's not an event one. Event ones are usually special shapes and stuff like that. But this one, this company is no longer around, but this is the standard that you'll get, is you get a little plat of putty. You take your multi-placer, you know, you push down, pull out, get it, pack it into the multi-placer. You could also do your single placer. This can also go into these pens or to the Ivy Dazzlers. It's just, it takes a little bit more to twist it. But these usually are scented. They have fun themes and stuff like that, but that is certainly an option. There are then places that put their putty into little round containers like this. Looks like it was made into a rope. They put a little flamingo on top of it. This is cool water scented, so it smells really good. Or you have what is sometimes referred to as, well, the original company, this is called Alien Putty. There's also some other versions out there called Galactic Putty, some other type things. But essentially what this is this is a mixture of poster tack and the smart tape, or that nano tape, okay? And they go ahead and grind it up and mix it together, and it works very well. It lasts a long time. See, the whole thing that typically people, diamond painters, want is they want their adhesive to last a long time. Wax just simply doesn't work that long, at least for me. I use the putty or the Alien Putty. Okay, so I'm over here in this camp. I have tried these. These did work. I may give these another try here. But wax, putty, what have you, this is definitely something that I would recommend considering an upgrade if you are getting frustrated with these pink wax or what have you that come with your kits, okay? Not a have to have, because this will work, but if this is getting on your nerves, you may want to try a stronger wax or putty for your pens, okay? So that's the first thing you may consider upgrading. The next thing you may consider upgrading is your tray, okay? Now, initially, this is what we had. This is what we got, or we got a little bit bigger of a one. These sometimes, you know, they're not great. The walls are very short, so drills tend to pop out. Sometimes the lines aren't great, so they don't flip the drills as much as we need. Plus, if you have a lot of color blocking, you may need something a little bit bigger than this. So DAC sort of matched that, or came out with this version of the tray, which has the lid, the stopper, very pronounced lines, and it is also stackable. So like I said earlier, a lot of people, they're like, this is as Cadillac as I need to go, because really any other tray on the market, it's basically this, okay? There's not a lot of difference in between trays, and let me show you. Here's a tray from, this is Yellow Dog Designs, and they have the lid, and they have the stopper, okay? Now this one, they do have a different type of center here. This one, as you can see, is grid. So this is very useful for single placing. If I just need to pick up one drill at a time, they will go into these individual spots, and I can do that without picking up other drills accidentally. But then it has just a couple small rows up here that I could, if I needed to, grab 3 or 4 drills at one time. Plus they have this shelf at the back, which is sometimes referred to as the washi tape hack. And what this is that, think about your drills, and you dump drills into here, and they're going to You shake them down, okay, and they're piling up against the edge here. It typically, if you pile them up, there's going to be a little bit of the tray that you just can't pull from because all the drills are pulled together. Here, what this is going to do is it's going to line all your drills up, and then any excess is going to go over this on this surface here, on this plate at the back, and sort of bunch up there and keep your rows nice and straight. Here's another version of this. Now this is a Firefly tray. This is my favorite 3D printed tray. What I like about it is I lose stoppers and stuff constantly. I like that they're stoppers. They're all built in. They have just little levers that you twist or pull or what have you to get your drills out of the tray. But the reason that this is called the washi tape pack is because it all started with people putting washi tape at the end of their grids, okay? So this does the same thing, is that I'm going to put my drills in here, tap them down, my lines are going to be perfect up here, and all my drills are going to be piled up here, all my extra drills are going to be piled up down here. So another option is I've become a fan of these tray bricks, which have the lid built in, and then they have the your grid and everything, and these are designed to go in some type of tower or something, and you can kit up into multiples of these because then it's quicker, especially if you're working on a confetti heavy piece, that you can just keep pulling and using, as opposed to, okay, dump drills in, now dump drills out, dump drills in, dump drills out. This is also a possibility too. But essentially, this is what you have in the realm of trays. There's different sizes, shapes, patterns, whatnot, all of which, you know, you are going to gain a preference for, and that's absolutely fine. Do you have to upgrade your tray? If you're getting these type of trays, I would strongly recommend it, because it just makes the whole process of diamond painting a little bit easier, and easier means it's more enjoyable, okay? And whether that's, you know, you want to go with this type of route, or if you want something with this, just the straight grid that's like this, or you do want to have some type of lever gadget, you know, that is completely up to you. You can just grab your Diamond Art Club white tray and use that. I mean, here is a tray from another very well-known tray company. The only difference here is, well, my stopper is somewhere, but it comes with a stopper. The only difference is that it has the washi tape hack. But if you really like this, you just put a piece of tape down here and you're good to go. So if you are using the Diamond Art Club trays and they work for you, that's fantastic. So is there a reason to upgrade? You know, if you want fun colors, if you want, like sometimes companies will make event trays that they'll have printed on here a logo or the name of the event, or you can get your name put on here, or some type of picture up here. If you want to do that, great. Is a tray an absolutely must upgrade? No, not in my opinion. Let's talk tweezers. Are tweezers an absolute upgrade? Not really, especially now some companies give out plastic tweezers. I don't care for those, but these metal ones, these work pretty well, all right? However, you can choose. Here's an example of an upgraded pair. When I say upgraded, it just means decorated. It's still your murder tweezers, but it just has some resonance and glitter on the handle to make it look a little bit more snazzy. Now, there are other shapes of or I should say tips that come on tweezers. So like here's one, this is a ceramic tip. I don't know that makes a huge deal. There are some that have like this black, I think it may be ceramic tip as well, all right? And you can see this one is very much like here, right? But it has jack on it. This one is my cruising tweezers with the ship's wheel, the ship anchor, stuff like that. One of the things, this type of tweezer, I know I've pointed this out before, but I'll hold this up to the camera. You see the tip there, how it's curled? This is referred to as a putty remover tweezers. That's what these are from. Susie's Creations, links down below. And what you do, because think about it, you get putty or wax on your canvas. If you're doing this, you're removing just a little bit of the point at a time. Whereas this one, you can put this down flat and do this, and it's scraping all that stuff off in one move. These are amazing. And I also have similar, here's another Susie's Creation, Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And Wiley has the putty remover edge as well. And here we have the white ceramic tip. So, tweezers. Do you have to have an upgrade? Absolutely not. Your murder tweezers will do what you need them to do. You may, though, want a second pair of tweezers, such as the putty remover, okay? Or even, now this is one that I just got online off of Amazon. This is a rounded edge pair of tweezers. And what I use this for, sometimes I find that the really thin point here, I know it's very helpful to get in, and if you're pulling up a drill and stuff like that, you can get down in there. But if you're removing a larger section of drills that you made a mistake and put down on the wrong color, these are just a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit easier sometimes to grab a drill and hold it, you know, and put it wherever you're depositing it, whether it's in a tray or container or whatnot. So I did get these, but again, not a requirement. If you were to upgrade anything with tweezers, as you can see, I have started to do, some of these were gifts. Look at those. Those are murderous tweezers. Wow. This one has the black tip to it. These are just for fun. Okay. Your regular tweezers that come with it are great. You may just want to supplement with a round tipped tweezer because it is a little bit easier to grab some of the drills, or one of those putty release pickup tweezers, because they do work very well. Finally, last but not least, that brings us to our pen. Okay, the pen is the most unique thing. This is the thing that you touch the most. This is the thing that's going to keep your hand from hurting or not hurting. This is the most personal item there is in a toolkit, and there are a lot of opportunities to upgrade. And this is the one thing. Now, if you have a kit that's using this, 100% recommend upgrade. Not even recommend. I'm telling you, go upgrade. If you get this type of pen and you like using it and it works for you, fantastic. Upgrade to this. But if you want to go a little bit further than this, you have so many options out there. Now, I've shown off my pen collection before, but basically what we're talking about are pens that are made of resin, is typically the primary ingredient. There's also wood pens. All wood pens out there, or what this is a hybrid, that these are pieces of resin with glitter and stuff in it, and then these are pieces of wood that have been put together. All right. I typically use the standard brass tip that comes with even the regular pens here, but I have been known to upgrade to let's see, the Ivy Dazzlers. So this is your single tip here, and it's like a twist and pick pen. I think I've shown those before. Let me see. I think this one has. You could also get tips from any company, really. There's a lot of different tips out here. These happen to be DAC. I really like these tips because they're so thin. But there's a single placer tip, and here's a multi-placer tip. This is my favorite multi-placer, the 6. Okay, this I use for large areas of color blocking. So all of this is part of your pen, right? Definitely recommend metal tips over plastic tips. They just seem to work a little bit better. They're more durable. Like you'll eventually see that these will get chewed up and stuff by drills taking nicks out of them and stuff like that. But those certainly work fine. So if you're have to upgrade anything about the pen, I would upgrade the actual pen first. And you'll get to know what type of pen do you like. Thick, thin, heavy, light. Like this one is a little bit heavier because this is a big tip there, but I think that the blank is actually a little bit heavier as well. And I like a thicker pen, so these both work really well for me. This would probably be okay, but what would drive me nuts is this gap of the threads here. Because I hold my pen typically pretty low. If you look here with an Ivy's Dazzler, she calls them O-rings, and you're able to hold on to this, and it's rubber. These are rubber. It's not like you're holding on to straight up screw ridges there. There are other type of pens though. There's this pen, this type of pen. This is primarily used, I think, in like nail salons. And the way this works, I think you put something in this end. This end is supposed to be a little bit tacky, not tacky to the touch, but if you hit it against a drill, it's going to pick up the drill. Again, if this is your preference, that's fantastic. Go for it. I don't find these to be very effective. So I have this one. I tried it, but that's pretty much all that I'm going to do with it. You then have resin pens. These I got off of Amazon. These are very inexpensive mass-produced resin pens. They're probably very comparable to this, holding this type of pen, but of course, anything is better than the little stick, right? So you could get these. These actually have screw-in tips. You can get screw-in tips or press-in tips, either one. And let's see, here's another pen that I have. This one is Fordite. So again, your pens are very personal. You can have your pens made of anything that you want. There's a lot of choices out there, a lot of inclusions in resin and stuff like that. And one of the things I'm fascinated with is Fordite, which is overspray paint from car painting, from back when they used to actually paint cars without, I think it's some type of electrostatic process now or something. But yeah, I like my pens and I like my turns and I like my sizes. I have preferences. This one may be a little bit on the thin side for me, but I do like using it regardless. So pen, I 100% strongly recommend you upgrade, especially if you're coming from the stick pen. This may be okay, but even if you get tired of using that and holding on to threads, you may want to upgrade that. What I do not recommend with pens is there seem to be, this is new, like within the past couple of years, people seem to think that, oh, we have round drills and we have square drills, so we need a square tip. And companies have started coming out with square tips. I don't like the square tips. I'm going to tell you why. And obviously you use these with square drills, right? And the round one you use with round drills. Here's why I don't particularly like the square tips. Let's assume, here's my, not quite square, but this is my square drill, okay? When I bring my tip down on the drill to pick it up, I have to be lined up exactly with the sides in order for this to really work, okay? Because again, your wax and your putty sort of gets indented, so you need to get the drill up in the tip in order for it to pick up. If I come at this, so like here's my square tip, okay? If I come down and I'm fully aligned, I'm going to get my drill. But I come down not aligned, I'm not getting my drill. You see what happens there? If you don't come down exactly square, you're not getting your drill. Where with the round ones, it doesn't matter. You could push it and you're just getting the top of the drill. It's going into the tip and you're picking it up and it's perfectly fine. So I find that the square tips actually make it a little bit more difficult to pick up drills because you have to come down exactly square on the drill in order to pick it up. So square tips, no, I do not recommend those. However, I do recommend any type of upgrade. As far as the others, so like we talked about the tips, I do like a metal tip better, but again, that is not a must-have. Straighteners, sometimes you'll see a straightener like this that's in a kit, and what it's meant to do is you just sort of push it down in between your rows to straighten them. You could also put them at the end of the pen. I have a metal one here. This again was from Amazon. This is a twist-on. I like the metal one because these will start to get just pockmarked and stuff from pushing it in between the drills because this plastic is a little bit softer than the resin drills. So I do like a metal one, but again, that is, these work as well, just may have to replace them after a while. So if this works for you, this works for you. Washi tape. Washi tape is like one of those things. It doesn't come in every kit. Like we didn't see it in the DAC kit because some people use it, some people don't. Sometimes the items, the samples that you get or the freebies that you get with a kit, it's not that great of a washi tape. I've had it where I can't even unpeel it, or I put it down and immediately it doesn't stick to anything. So if you choose to use washi tape, there are other brands out there. You can go to stationery stores, which would be probably a little bit more expensive, but you could also go to Target or Walmart or Amazon to find Scotch brand washi tape. It works fantastic. Some of the stationery brands work much better than this. So would this be a definite upgrade? If you want. I'm not gonna fully recommend this one. It is purely if you want to upgrade. And other than that, let's talk about trinket trays, because a lot of people show off trinket trays, and I want to talk about them and some other alternatives that or additions, I should say, not even alternatives, but sometimes people like to have what is called a trinket tray, and this is made out of resin. This one happens to be themed for the movie Wicked, right? What these are good for is you can keep these out on your canvas or next to your canvas, and it can hold things like your tweezers, your multi-placers, maybe your putty or your wax, okay? So you have everything right here and you can move it and you're going along and you're doing what you need to do. So some people like to have trinket trays like this. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Let me see. There are 3D printed ones. So like here's one that was for Drills and Chills 2004 in the shape of a casket. Okay, same concept. There are even, I got these off of Etsy. They're not necessarily called trinket trays, but they're like key trays. Like you put this by your front door and you put your keys in it every time you get home. But I got these nice walnut ones. You could do that. And there's even one here. This is probably my newest one with my name on it. I thought this was cool. My favorite color is blue, so I got a nice blue one with my name on it. You can choose to use those or not. That is just this is purely an option, whether or not you even use it. I seldom, I use trinket trays, but what I have off to the side of my table here is sort of the ultimate trinket tray that I always have over here. This is a resin hybrid with some burl. And you can obviously see it's going to hold a couple pens. It can hold, whatever you put down here into the packet. So we got some extra tips here. I have some tablecloth weights I clip on the end of canvases when I hang them to help them become straight. Here is a little pencil eraser I have for, I was doing large bubble rounds, so they're larger drills, so I was using like a wax pencil, so I have that in here. A spare container, a little clip that goes over the camera of my my tablet for privacy, not a big deal. This is sort of an ingenious thing that I usually have out. So let me clean this off so you can see it a little bit easier. So what this is this is just a little rock, crystal, it's a quartz, crystal quartz, that I got out one day, and I glued a drill to it. And what I use this for is when I first put putty into my pen or wax, or even with the screw, the twist and picks, I can go ahead and just push on this drill. And what's going to happen, it's going to make that little indentation in the putty or the wax, and any overspill that comes out, I can pick off right away. And then what I usually do is I put that overspill on the rock here, and then as I continue to use this and I maybe lose some more of it, I need to freshen it, I can come and just pick up that little piece, get a little fresh piece on there and get through a square or whatnot. But it's sort of nice to have this little, and for multiplacers, you just go down the row there, and all you're doing is, because you see how your putty looks eventually, see how it's like, it has the different, trying to get this, see how it's just sort of ridged, like each diamond is going to have its own pocket. That's all you're doing, is sort of doing that to begin with, and you clear off any overspill. So I have this off to the side, so sometimes I don't need a trinket tray, but again, all of this is 100% optional as far as the trinket tray goes. Finally, there are cover minders. Now, these used to come in every deck, and there used to be, let's see, they were little, like more inexpensive plastic ones. So let me see, sort of like this one. I don't know that I have an actual deck. You know, a little flower or something. These have magnets on the back side. So the whole point is you take one magnet off, you put it under the canvas, you put this on top of the canvas, and it's going to stick. And you could help hold back the plastic covers. You can help, sometimes what I do is I'll have my release papers, and I'll take the release paper that I take off the canvas, I'll go ahead and just put underneath my cover minder, just so that it doesn't blow away or something like that, because I sit by a window that I have open quite a lot if it's nice out. And at night, when I put my release paper over a section that maybe has some drills on it, so it's not like full adhesion, I go ahead and I just stick this, make sure that that release paper stays in place. So cover minders, some places, there's only, every time you say there's only one place, someone says, no, there's more. Very few places give cover minders anymore. One exception is Captured by Radiance. They give out actual crystal, some type of earth crystal cover minder. So this one happens to be Tiger Eye that I got with my last kit. And this happens to be a little Tiger Eye owl. But sometimes it's just a regular polished crystal. Again, your two magnets, you can use it that way, you know, the same way. But a lot of people, you know, cover minders are something that typically reflect your personality. So here I like seahorses, so I may have a seahorse one. Here's one, like a beach one that has my name in it. Okay. Really what these turn out to be, for me at least, are magnets that go on my desk. Here's one from Crafting with Shay from her diamond painting channel. And there are even ones that, such as this one, this I got from the Great Lakes Escape retreat this year, 2025. This was part of like the swag bag, and the theme was murder mystery. So you got the fingerprints and you got the Great Lakes, because Great Lakes Escape, right? And what have you. So those are purely optional. A lot of companies sell them. I would recommend, like, I know a lot of people are still very upset that Dax started including them, but to be honest, the ones Dax sent were questionable quality. And what I mean by that is I don't know if they were made the best or if they just got really beat up in transit, but sometimes your magnets would be off. You'd have to re-glue your magnets, things like that. Plus, I don't want roses or little manga things on my, if I use it on my canvas. I want things that I like the beach scene with my name or the seahorse or what have you. A lot of people like to theme their cover minders and pens with the canvas as well. One other thing that is completely optional, but I like to have around is some type of trash drill container. Now here's another version. So this is just, again, usually these have the magnets on them so you can secure them to your canvas. And this one has a lid, this one doesn't. And what this is that when you come across a drill, either it could just be an errant drill or a drill that has a tab on it or it's somehow defective, you just come and you could put it into these trash drill trays and then toss everything when you're done. There are also trays that have this feature built in. So this is actually a trash bin that if you push from the bottom will come out. And you could take this over to the garbage can and get rid of your trash drills. For me, I like to use this, but since I don't use these trays a lot anymore, I do like something with a lid, and this one has a little hole in it, as you can see, because what this allows you to do is, number one, you're not going to spill all of your trash drills if you knock it over, all right, a little bit of preventative there, but also it gives you something to sort of scrape your pen on to get that drill off, because sometimes whatever you're picking up is like super still really fresh, really sticky. Maybe you're using an AB drill and it's going to stick to this, and here I'm trying to rub it off on the side. It doesn't work as well as getting in there and actually just sort of scraping it off using this opening. But again, these are completely optional. You can just take those trash drills and drop them in the trash can next to you, but certainly an upgrade that is available out there and you may want to consider, but not a required one. So I hope this has helped see what comes in a toolkit and what you may want to consider upgrading. Again, what you choose to upgrade is totally up to you. It is totally up to your preference. The only thing that I would say is when it comes to pens, which was the one thing that I said, this is a definite upgrade. You may want to start off with some inexpensive pens or pens purchased off of D-Stash that you could usually get pens for 20, 30 bucks. And you want to try different turnstiles and different widths, because some pens are just too thin for me. I don't particularly care for them. And sometimes a turn is so busy that it feels odd holding it. So you want to try out a number of different pens until you come to this is what works for me. So what I know is, for me, thicker pen than normal and a pretty straightforward turn works the best for me. So I can then go and buy a more expensive pen, a $50 pen or something, and not worry about it. What I don't want you guys to do is go out and buy the $50 pen and go, well, I really don't like this shape. It doesn't feel right. And now you're stuck with a $50 pen. So I hope that's helped. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. While you're here, make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video if you've enjoyed what you have listened to here today. If you have anybody or know of anybody who is new to diamond painting, please make sure to share this video with them. Perhaps the Diamond Painting 101 series will be helpful to them. But as always, I will talk to you next time we are speaking of diamonds. Bye-bye.